officially launched Southern Games 2013. And this has been launched as a collaborative effort between the Southern Games Organizing Committee, the Sports Company of Trinidad and Tobago, the Ministry of Sports, Petrotrin, and of course the business community in the Southern Borough. So it gives me great pride and great pleasure to be among you this evening to launch Southern Games 2013. No matter what it has been through, it's still here with us, and I dare say will continue to be with us for many years to come. These games mark a setting stone, if you would call it that, for athletes, track and field, and cycling. And it also gives the Carifta athletes perhaps one of the first real event in the start of any calendar year in preparing themselves for what is to come. So on this note, I want to officially welcome all of you to the launch of Southern Games 2013. At this time, I would like to call on one of the committee members, Mr. Anthony Commission, who would provide opening remarks on the games. Mr. Commission?
Southern Games. As you know, Southern Games in the past was one of the main cycling and athletic events in the Caribbean. Much so, Southern Games was the first major athletics and cycling event. At Southern Games in 1938, now there's a query about what the Southern Games start, what year. But Southern Games started between 1936-35, but in 1938 was the first year first time in Trinidad and Tobago that athletes took part in athletics on a marked track. They had the stands, they had the finish. So you can say 1938 is the first year that athletics really become a major event with the modern technology, thanks to Coach Brown and Dr. Dolly and the others who have made the Southern Games. And you know, and we want to thank those guys for what they did then, that we are here today to talk about Southern Games. We have a little news here that something we want to bring out for next year. I will let all know. The Southern Games was revived in 1938, and this next year will be 50 years. We'll be celebrating 50 years, not yearly because they had war and you know we did stop and start, but the 50th game will be next year. So next year, please God willing, we'll be celebrating 50th Southern Games. So that's the celebration you have to celebrate. What I want to talk about is the cyclists. We don't have all the information. We have cyclists from Italy, USA, Germany, Denmark, Canada, Colombia, Jamaica, and I believe we have some Barbados and some Guyanese to come in. But we don't have we're going to get for you between now and the games his short history of each cyclist, the sprinters and the stayers, and you know. So we don't have that. But what you all have is the names of the cyclists. You know, I can't talk. I want to bite them the tongue. The names are very long. Okay, so you all have the names of the cyclists. I would like to again thank Petrotrin for again assisting us in sponsoring the games, the Ministry of Sports, the Sports Company, and all the other sponsors.
Southern Games celebrating its 50th anniversary would be something to look forward to. So at this time, to perhaps give us a lot more information about Southern Games, I would like to invite the chairman of the organizing committee. But before I do that, maybe I will be stealing part of his thunder, but I'd like to let you know that presently the organizing committee comprised of the chairman, which is Mr. Jenkins Clark, the vice chairman, Mr. James Didier, the games coordinator is Ms. Carol Branderson, the assistant coordinator, Mr. Kelvin Roberts, the secretary-treasurer, Ms. Jacqueline Smith, and of course we have committee members present here with us this evening, Mr. Harun Awadi and Mr. Anthony Commission. So to give us a briefing on Southern Games 2013, I now invite Chairman of the Organizing Committee, Mr. Jenkins Clark.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I want to say this is good afternoon to each and everyone. Despite the numbers look small, but we have a lot to say, despite the numbers. As the chairman of the organizing committee, I must say that it's a pleasure to be here and to head a committee with such hard-working persons whose name was just called by the chairperson. Southern Games 2013, once again we expecting to put out one of the best games. As the year goes, we always try to improve on our games. Doing that, we as a committee sit and review the past games and see what went wrong and what we could do better for the following year. Already you have heard that Mr. Committee mentioned about the 50th games, which we hope to celebrate next year. And I must say, in God's name, this year, as we normally did for the last 3 or 4 years, we honor someone or 2 persons and name the games in their name. This year, for 2013, the committee has decided to name Mr. Ian Artley, a former national cyclist and also mayor of San Fernando, and Ms. Tora Bess Allen, who was the first woman to win an international medal for Trinidad and Tobago at the CSC Games. Ms. Bess is now residing in Texas, in the United States. I spoke to her yesterday and she was very delighted, and the committee had decided we will bring Ms. Bess down to be honored on that day, which will be the 16th of March. We have also decided this year to add something more to the cycling arena. We are expecting to have some international women cyclists coming down from the US, from Canada, and from Colombia. We're also expecting to get one from Jamaica. But this year we'll be getting athletes from the Bahamas, the USA, St. Kitts, Kenya, Jamaica, and Guyana, and also in Canada. These countries will be sending some of the top athletes to compete at the Southern Games. At this time, I will just give you some more information about the costs, which haven't been changed for the last 5 years, I must say. The tickets will be going on sale from Friday, which is the 22nd, Friday 22nd. Tickets will be going on sale at the sports club, and the prices stay at $50 for stand A and B. Stand C, D, and E is $40, and the bronze $25. Games start at 2 p.m. on each day. So we're giving all this information to you all. I hope that the president of the media here this afternoon is telling me something, because we are happy to see you all here this afternoon, and we know that we could guarantee you all present at the games. So I would like to thank you all for coming. Giving us the support is the media. Besides, we are hoping that the sponsors will come on board. Is the media have a very important part to play in marketing, or help us market these games outside to get the patrons to come in and support us in this game. So at this note, I would like to say thank you for having the opportunity to address you this afternoon, and hope to see you all at the games. Thank you.
I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, that you just cannot keep a good man down. I would like to perhaps stretch that to say you can't keep a good thing down, and perhaps even stretch it further to say you just can't keep Southern Games down. Because I think we have heard already for this evening, there were a number of stops and starts for Southern Games. But Southern Games really and truly remains in my mind, and I suspect in the minds of a lot of us, as the mecca of games that starts off the athletic season in any one given year. So when I think about people like, in fact, in the last era of reviving the game somewhere around the 1990s, when I think about people like Rudolph Thomas, Novely Bishop, Jim Clark, Lennox Findlay, George Matthew, Wilton Jackson, Ray Davis, even Anthony Commission, who worked, I mean, they all, along with others like them, worked tirelessly to ensure that Southern Games, in fact, continues its legacy. And so, today, we can officially launch Southern Games 2013. And this has been launched as a collaborative effort between the Southern Games Organizing Committee, the Sports Company of Trinidad and Tobago, the Ministry of Sports, Petrotrin, and of course, the business community in the Southern Borough. So it gives me great pride and great pleasure to be among you this evening to launch Southern Games 2013.